This is something I've asked many breeders. Why? It's not just time consuming, it's a full-time extra job.
Once I realized that there were a lot of Weims just not, I mean, they were sold as hunting dogs, but they really weren't. Mm-hmm. That's what our goal is. We want to put good hunting dogs in the hands of hunters.
I know you sell dogs all over. What's your furthest dog distribution channels? Don't you deal with Europe too? And
yeah, I've got puppies in. I sent one to France. He's now in Italy. We sent two to Italy 2 years ago. I've got a puppy in Spain.
So you've been dealing like internationally. So
yeah, for a while.
Like when you say your parents had Weims back in the 50s and 60s, that was a major hunting breed back then. And I think in some decades, it became more show, less hunting. People just started gravitating toward, short hairs or griffins or whatever. What was your process to find a breeding pair?
So the breed has gone through a whole lot, and I've always been a little bit different because of my equine background. And I do consider pedigrees; they're very important. But I also consider performance abilities. Like if you see a dog like Cody was a natural backer, natural retriever.
Yeah.
You're going to breed her to a dog with similar traits, or like in her case, the kennel she came from, Grangel, they weren't big into waterfowl or the water, and we were duck hunters and everything as well. Mm-hmm. So she was tough to get in the water. Once she swam, she was fine. So I looked for a Weim that had more water love than her, that would just swim to swim, and that's what we did.
At that point, you're looking for a complementary trait.
I actually still do that. I look at dogs that are going to complement what we already have. Like if I have a litter that's slow to swim and we want to breed to a hardcore water dog, or if a dog that doesn't point real hard, real young, you look for a precocious young male that did. And I've never bred to a male that I have not seen.
So when it comes to like picking that pairing, if a dog that you knew because you can read dogs, you've bred them, you know the whole line of this dog, if this dog just bombed its utility test, just like I got a 1 in duck search, would you know that dog enough to say the score is not as important as the dog I know? That's a toughie.
Yeah, that's a tough question because I'd have to see the dog, maybe hunt over the dog, and I would do that. When I bred to Henri, who lived in Manitoba, I went and hunted over that dog.
Okay.
I wanted to see that dog in action.
That's going to be your biggest weighted factor. If it's a male you're using from outside or female, you want to see the dog.
Right. I want to see the dog in action.
You've got a pretty steep background in the versatile dog testing.
Yes.
And you've gotten, I don't know how many breeders' awards for the puppies.
And I honestly don't know that number.
We can look that up.
Yeah, there are a couple of bitches that I leased that I should be the breeder because I leased them, but I'm not sure it shows up. They had breeders' awards.
But you know the name where it came from. Right.
18 was the year I got the Utility Breeders' Award, and the next year I got the Invitational Breeders' Award. There's only one of those.
And that's it.
And I'm the only one. It was a big deal. It was a big deal.
It's got to be a big deal.
Because I know a lot of people tried. I really didn't try. I didn't go into it to say, you know what, I'm going to get these breeders' awards. That's not what it was all about. It was about, I really loved the Henri dog, and I just loved everything about him. I had him for both breedings. They actually shipped him to me twice.
Wow.
So I had him, got to know him very well, and I loved the dog so much that I did a repeat and then kept a male out of that.
Did you get what you were looking for, too?
I did. Goose is my 10-year-old. He was a natural duck search dog from the day I put him in the water, and that's what I wanted to improve on with that breeding.
And you got it.
And I got it. You want to see that drive no matter where they are, whether it's open fields, whether
and we
it's
end
the
up
woods.
calling it water, but it's really just an overall, probably really good desire, a really good hunting dog.
Yeah.
It's just a dog that does not have any idiosyncrasies about terrain change.
No. Well, you judged Walker, and he has been a natural, and he was the one that I could not get out of the water, and I had to wave a bird around, and then finally I tackled him because he kept getting further and further out and would not come in, and I'm like, it was a frustrating experience at the time.
Yeah.
But I knew he was going to be a natural, and he is. I mean, it doesn't matter where I take him, doesn't matter what pond, doesn't matter where I'm at, he's the same everywhere.
Yeah, and there's some dogs that if you took them off their home pond, they're just not going to do it. They're just not going to do it.
right now you co-breed. So your decisions are made together, but you're of like mind, so it's really not a hard decision. So someone gets this dog, like this person in Ohio, and says, you know what? I want to start breeding dogs. How would someone do that if they wanted to get a dog from you that turned out really good? You knew about the dog, maybe even seen the dog, and they decide that they'd like to try their hand at breeding.
Our contract is specific. You have to do certain things and do health testing before you will lift the limited. Like we do 2 litters a year typically. You'd be shocked at how many homes we turn away. We just can't fill the market. You know, we're not big breeders. We're never going to breed in the fall. So we do our litters in the spring and then we hunt all fall. They travel a lot. I'm usually hunting around here because I really love to hunt grouse. Typically the first question they asked is when can I spay and when can I neuter? So, you know, and we usually, the bitches are different because some people just do not want to deal with that. So I tell them our bitches usually come in around a year old. Try and get as close to that as you possibly can.
Right.
And then the males, we do ask that they go a little bit longer just because of bone growth and structure. And it does seem to matter more in the boys.
So actually, you're not getting a lot of spin-offs of Timberdoodle.
No, people come to us for hunting dogs.
Right.
And if they do request it, they've already fulfilled the requirements. We help them. We send them homes, whatever. You know, we talk to them about contracts and please don't sell these dogs out to just anyone because they'll end up in a breeding program that we don't.
Right.
It doesn't go with our philosophy. So
we have make that 2 favors to ask you. If you like the content you've been watching, please hit the like and the subscribe button and wish me luck. We're going grouse hunting.